Now, I'm very excited right now because returning to the Lowdown is a very special guest of mine. She's a writer, director, and producer. Y'all give it up for my good friend, Robin Hofmann.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, all right, give it to him. All right. How are you doing, Mama?
Great, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you here. Oh, tight Mike. Look at that.
Did I do it right?
Robin, it is so good to see you.
Thank you.
You know
It's
I'm a
great to
big
be
fan of
seen.
everything that you do.
Aw.
God bless you.
I'm
No,
a big
it's
fan
true.
of yours.
We came up together. I mean, you were
did.
on my show way back when, and you've been on repeatedly. You saw when it was this little show now.
Little bit.
And look at us now. Look at all this.
It's
We got a
that.
band. We got tight Mike Randolph here.
Hi, Mike. You're a lucky man.
We're going to be around for another 2 weeks. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. No, it's good to have you here because you are a woman that has a bunch of hyphens in her name. You do it all. Not only are you a great mom, great wife, but you're a writer, producer, director, actor, host. How do you find time to do all this stuff?
I just love it, you know.
You really do.
When you find something that you have such a great passion for, and this is what I do full time.
Yes.
So
And
I put that energy toward that.
and I brag on you because, ma'am, you started making movies. First movie you made won an award.
I mean, it
Second
did.
project you worked on, it won an award. You got a batting average of 1,000 right now. What do you attribute your success to?
Just being around great people.
Okay, talk about it.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. But this is what
the
you're not
ribs.
gonna do, Robin. Okay. No, but really, what is
No,
it?
really, you find other creatives like yourself, and you help each other out, and it's not a one-person game. Making
No.
a film takes a ton of people and a ton of time. But I put a lot of effort into it. My characters speak to me. They wake me up in the middle of the night sometimes.
Okay.
And they're like, "You will write me right now."
And that's how it happens.
I will get up in the middle of the night and go over to my computer and start writing because they're screaming at me, telling me to write them.
And your characters are beating you to get out.
They are.
And you do a great job at that.
Thank
Now, when we get back, we're going to talk not only about all the projects that you've done, but some of the stuff you give back to the community with. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with my friend, Robin Hofmann. Stay here with us. That's it. Tight Mike's never given me one of these. He's
never given you one of these?
Never. Not
He
once.
loves me.
No. All right, welcome back, everybody. You're still with the Lowdown. We are with my wonderful guest, Robin Hofmann, writer, producer, director, actress, everything. You are what heart, if you will. Mom, that's somebody's mama too. Yeah, you are.
Lots of somebody's.
Now, I want to talk to you about you do stuff with Hoffi's Heart.
Hoffi's Heart.
Hoffi's
yes.
Heart. And I always want to bring this up because that's how we met. Now, you do a special show where it's called Bake With Me. And what you will do is you have celiac yourself. So you know how hard it is for people with certain diagnoses to actually eat and enjoy good food. So you know the challenges of that. I have a son that has celiac disease and you just can't have anything with gluten. So there's nothing that you can really buy that's going to be good. So you learn to bake and make gluten-free treats. So what you did with Hoffi's Heart and with Bake With Me was you would start a show where you bring on somebody like me who has high blood pressure, who has diabetes, and you would make me a dessert while we talked about my affliction and what I do to get by with it, and you would actually make something I could actually eat. It was amazing. That's how we became friends. You feed me once. I'm like a stray cat. I'm never going away. And I love the fact what you do is you're giving back to people at the same time. You're telling them it's okay to be different. It's okay. There's things that you can also do to enjoy things. So tell me how you started that.
That was amazing. I worked with people with disabilities for 27 years
Yes.
before I got into all of the production stuff. And I was diagnosed with celiac disease 13 years ago.
Gotcha.
And back then they had nothing. Like people didn't even know what gluten was at that point. So there was nothing on the shelves.
So you
I
couldn't go to the
created-
store, yeah.
No, I created my own recipes and then I just wanted to share them with everybody. And at first I was like, maybe I'll open a bakery and I'll just feed people. And then I was like, no, I want to teach them to be able to do
That's
it
right.
for themselves
That's right.
at a reasonable cost. Because you can now go out and get something that's delicious and gluten-free, but it will cost you
3 times as much as a normal.
at least. So I wanted people to learn how to do that. And then I thought there's so many disabilities that I want people to learn about. When you work with people with disabilities, it wasn't the person with the disability that was an issue. It was the people around them that didn't understand them. So I was like, let me get people out in front of the camera, let people see how they walk, talk, act, look, behave so that they can recognize that and maybe say, you know what, they are functional, capable, responsible people.
Yeah.
And while we're baking. So
That's
it was
right.
like this crazy
It was a
thing on
win-win for
paper,
me. I got to
but
talk
then,
about
yeah.
myself and eat. It was it was great. And I always want to bring that up because what you did is so inspirational. And it's so amazing that you got to do that. And then we had talked way back when. I'm talking 3 years ago about, hey, I want to start making movies, James. And I was like, all right, yeah, start making movies. And you did, and you started winning awards, and you have not stopped since.
Yeah, I'm not just a talker. Like
No,
if
you're
I
not.
if I decide I'm gonna do something,
You do it.
I do it.
Fully
So,
committed to it.
Yeah, I started getting on other people's sets. I'm like, just let me in. I'll change your garbage. I'll make you coffee. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I just want to learn the process. And that's what happened. And then I started meeting other people who were in the film industry. And then
And
I
it kept
started
growing from
writing.
there.
And then once people believe in you and support you and we have a good time, then they want to join you and do the same things you're doing.
Congratulations to you, girl. You awesome. You are amazing.
Yes, yes.
Tight Mike has a question.
Yes, Ms. Hofmann, again, thank you for being here at the show. Thank you so much. You put me in my first feature film, Table Talk.
Yes.
I was the lead supporter of a supporting person.
Lead supporting support. Yes.
Right. But it was my first time on film, and you taught me a lot about movies.
Yes.
And so being on set and things of that nature, and I was a guy that came from stand-up. I didn't know a lot about being in front of the camera. So I just wanted to thank you for that opportunity.
Yes.
And I loved it, and I appreciate you giving folks like me and other guys opportunity.
It was amazing. You played an old Black Jewish man.
Yes.
And
Old,
it was-
wait a minute. You were Sammy Davis Jr. grandfather?
I was. And they made me up in all the gray hair.
Fantastic.
And I was the only African American in the whole movie, and I still did my thing.
Gotcha. What was the
And
movie
that wasn't
called,
my
Mike
movie.
Token? What was it?
Table talk.
That was
It was table talk.
Message, bro. Message.
Hey, I'm in Walmart. That's all I got to say. I'm in Walmart. Now, people know me.
It doesn't surprise me. Tight
I
Mike's
got to
very
put
talented.
on like the old Jewish
The
New
old
York
Jewish,
talk, and it was
gotcha.
fantastic.
It was
You taught
great.
Mike a lot of things. How to eat bagels.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then we had our own show together.
I remember
as
that.
well. And she baked me pumpkin seed bread. Pumpkin.
Okay, you make up something different every single
What
time.
was it? What was it that you made, Ms.
It was
Hoffman?
like a chocolate chip pumpkin bread.
Okay.
Chocolate chip pumpkin
Wow.
bread. Not known in my
He
community.
was not loving it.
But I tried it. It was actually very good, and it was gluten-free. And I commend her because she got me to taste a lot of things that I normally wouldn't eat, and I really enjoyed it. So
Gotcha.
thank you.
She's great at what she does. Now, we didn't get to talk about one of your projects you just did, like
What'd
the
I
last
do?
time you
Which
were on.
one?
Stand Out.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's the thing that's always a constant in your life. No matter what you do, you always do something with a message or to help another
Always.
group out. So tell me a
Always.
little bit about Stand Out. I loved it, by the way.
Stand Out was incredible. I met a young lady during another project, during Jeans, which was my second film that won
Yes.
an award. It was nominated for 8 awards, and we won 1. It was fantastic.
Okay,
and
talk
she
about
did-
it. Yes.
No, it's all right. That's okay. I'm just telling you a little bit about that. So she was in that film. She
Yes.
played a small role, and I just fell in love with her whole family and her. And she was telling me a little bit about her story. She's biracial. Her mother is white. Her father is black. And being in film and theater it was really tough on her because she didn't quite fit any of the stereotypical roles. So if
And
she,
kids go through this in high school.
and she's very, very talented. It's way beyond high school. We're talking even Broadway.
Absolutely.
So when she was telling me about her challenges, again, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and this whole thing just was screaming at me to be written because it's such an important message, right? So we can talk about her situation with theater, but it's more of a global
Absolutely.
situation, right?
Yes.
So I wanted her to feel, so I contacted her family and said, I'm writing a movie about you. Is that okay?
Is that cool?
And they were like, absolutely, yes. And I told her, I want you to be comfortable every step of the way. So every chapter I wrote, I would send it to her, or chapter, was my writing book still. Every scene I wrote, I would send it to her really for approval. And there were times where it was too close to her situation and she was uncomfortable, so I changed it.
And that's why you got such a sense of realism. And it didn't seem like an after-school special. It seemed like it was coming from someone
No.
real because you got to talk to someone who was actually going through what
Absolutely.
you're writing about. And that's one of the things people don't realize. Like I'll tell these people real quickly what was going on in the actual movie. This young girl, biracial, was trying out for all these parts in her school plays, but they wasn't giving it to her because she wasn't talented. They were not giving it to her because
of the way she
she
looked.
didn't look white, she didn't look black, she looked mixed. So my kids dealt with
But
that.
she was clearly
the
most
best
talented.
one, but wasn't getting it. And her journey, how she chose to handle it. Like she could have flipped out. She could have got very angry, but she didn't. And kept persevering, and then she got her own thing from it.
Through
So,
her parents, she learned her father said to her, from the moment you were born, you were not meant to fit in, you were born to stand out. And that's where that came from.
Oh,
and so,
girl!
I wrote that.
Yeah, I wrote that. Yes.
So I wrote a song for the film. Never written a song in my entire
And the young lady
life.
performed it. Yeah.
And she sang it at the
And
end
she
of the
killed
film.
that.
She killed it. She's so beautifully talented.
So, Robin, let me ask you this: What's
sir.
next? Every film you do, you get awards for. You're doing great. What's next for Robin?
I'm gonna just keep writing. That's what everybody keeps telling me. What's the big goal? I'm there. This is it.
This is
the
it. This is your dream.
I'm writing, right? I'm producing and I'm directing and I'm bringing people into this project and being able to share these messages with other people and be a part of something like that. It's just incredible to have a thought in your head, write it down, have a team of people believe in that, and then all of a sudden you're watching it on a screen. It's the most insane. I'll never get over it.
All right. Enough said.